thank you for your time and taking your time to have this meeting with me. So what I would like to do at the beginning is just get you familiar with the company, who we are, what is it we do, and then later on we will focus a bit more on you, on your skill set, your preferences, and everything else. I will also fill you in with details regarding the position that we've contacted you for, and then we will move from there on if that's okay for you.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Okay, amazing. So yeah, as you've seen, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I...
No, you muted me accidentally.
Yeah, I was trying to pin your... I'm sorry. Continue, please.
No problem. All good. Yeah, so as you've seen, IT services company, we've been on the market for the past 24 years. Like any other IT company, we develop software. I mean, there's not much more to it. The way we do it, so we don't have an in-house product, but we are rather developing software solutions according to clients' needs. The tech stack that we're focused on is Microsoft tech stack, definitely, and we're only working on enterprise-level applications, so large-scale distributed applications. Currently in the company, there's 500 of us. We're quite a global bunch, I would say. So we are spread all over the world and currently have 3 offices. So we have our headquarters, our founders are. We have our biggest technology center in Sarajevo, where I'm calling you from actually. And we've opened an office in Istanbul, in Turkey, 2 years ago. So yeah, really that being said, we're growing from year to year, constantly expanding and, like looking for new talents to join us. For the past 5 years, we also decided to hire people remotely. So currently we are actually working with people from 35 different countries, which we're really proud of. And like the market is such that actually we cannot expect people to be back in the offices anymore. So yeah, even prior to pandemic, for us, the most logical reason for that was the fact that most of our clients are US and UK based. So that's why we decided to have more, like to have consultants in different time zones without, like need to overlap too much or have those crazy working hours. In terms of the position that we've contacted you for, so it's for a, say it like that. It's a project that we've been working on for years. So those are like, because all the clients that we're working with are long-term clients. So we're working only on their large systems, on new features. So that's why we have a lot of teams working on one project. This is one of such. So we're already working with them, I don't know, for more than 5, maybe even 10 years. And currently we're looking for a new addition to that team. So basically what we're looking for here is a full stack developer with experience in .NET, .NET Core, of course, since we're a Microsoft tech stack based company, and in the front end we're kind of like looking for Angular. Yeah, that's let's say those requirements that we cannot dismiss. Of course, anything else that you've been working with, such as, I don't know, cloud technologies, of course, databases, microservices, anything else that you worked for is definitely a bonus, but these are kind of like, let's say, basic requirements that we cannot dismiss.
Good.
Okay, I went through your CV. I actually also have it open now, and I saw that you do definitely have extensive experience, and you were even a lead full-stack developer. So I would like to start with you telling me what was actually your motivation to have this meeting with me. Hear you now.
Okay. The reason that I moved to Turkey was because I couldn't work with international companies in Iran because we have some US sanctions, some regulations, and something that we don't have access to some services, Google services, Amazon services, and etc. Mm-hmm. I really, really love programming. I've been doing that for maybe 9 or 10 years. And I wanted to become more experienced and more knowledgeable about programming. So I decided to move to Turkey because I was I can work with companies like international companies and work as an international developer. So I can experience, for example, AWS, Azure, learn more about programming, C# and everything. And the reason that I'm trying to join a company is that I'm trying to gain more knowledge about programming and become at least a CTO or software architect in a few years. And I'm trying to read more books about it, watch some more courses and everything to get there.
Okay, amazing. So you said that you've been working as a developer for 9 or 10 years already, right? So what kinds of industries have you worked for or
Well,
worked with?
yeah, in the 5 or 6 years of my experience, I work as a freelancer. I developed shopping websites, corporate websites, multi-tenant websites, and I joined some companies that had warehouse applications online and either offline, and was a shopping website, an e-commerce website. We had 10,000 or 15,000 orders per day, and we had some products to manage those orders, manage the warehouse and logistic and customers and everything. We had a few products for that, and I was responsible for managing the product for the shopping website. It was a multi-tenant website where we could have affiliate programming, and every partner could have some shopping website for himself, so he can select what are the product he wanted to sell, and it was displayed on the his or her website.
Okay, this sounds really interesting. Okay, let's speak a little bit about your current project. So what is you're currently working on?
Well, the current project is a startup for the company. Now, I don't know if I can discuss it, but the previous project that was
You don't have to tell me a lot of details, but maybe just tell me what the industry is for or what kind of application is it? But web,
yeah,
mobile,
it's
desktop.
a web application for processing audio, something like that. But before that, I was working in the past 2 months. I was working with a application for reporting for casinos and something like that with ASP.NET Core and React in the front end.
Okay. Are you currently freelancing or are you employed with a certain company? Okay, let's switch a little bit to speaking of the technologies in general. Okay, so how long are you a full stacker for the whole time, or you started, I don't know, with backend and then moved to front end?
I started as a full stack at the beginning because I was trying to. At the first, I tried to get some commercial projects, and I was responsible for developing the front end and back end as well. And I know myself as a full stack developer, but I mostly like, let's say, backend. I mostly work as a backend developer, but I really love front end as well. I'm really good with CSS and HTML. I can easily convert any design or any XT into CSS and HTML.
Okay. In terms of the backend technologies, so I saw, is ASP.NET, .NET, and .NET Core as well. So how long have you been working with .NET actually?
Yeah, I started with ASP.NET Web Forms maybe 10 years ago, and mostly worked with .NET Web Forms. And in the past 5 years, I think I switched to ASP.NET MVC, and for the past 3 years, I'm working with ASP.NET Core.
Okay, cool. This is really interesting. Do you use anything else on the backend side, like any other programming language?
I love to use Node.js. I learned it and I use it in some small project, but I didn't have any big projects to work with Node.js. But I love to use that as well.
Okay, this sounds interesting. When we speak about the backend part, do you also have experience maybe with microservices, with working on developing microservices?
Yeah, we had a monolith application, a big monolith application that was that had some products inside of it, and I was responsible. One of the persons that were responsible to make it multiple microservices. So we separated the logic of that monolith into multiple microservices and use, for example, rabbits to communicate or SDK to communicate between microservices.
Okay. This is really good. Okay, so speaking of the front end part, what is your, let's say, advantage? Is it Angular or React or what it is?
Really liked React because it felt really more smooth than Angular. But I also worked with Angular and Angular JS. But I mostly like React. But I don't really mind working with Angular because it's really good as well.
Okay. Which versions of Angular have you used?
I used I don't know, in the past I used a version I think 5 or 6, but currently I'm using version 13.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Amazing. Okay, so in terms of databases, okay, so what kind of databases have you been working with?
Yeah, I mostly used the SQL Server in the past 10 years, but I'm also I have some experience with MongoDB and PostgreSQL.
Okay, so
And
Mongo
also,
is a non-relational,
yeah,
basically, right?
yeah, MongoDB for non-relational, and also used Redis for caching purposes.
Cool. Okay, amazing. Okay, so I would like to know, I mean, you're a full stacker, so you're encountering, of course, like both the front end and the back end part. What is what would you say is one of the challenges that you're often encountering? So basically what my question would be is whether you think that you make a great impact on what you're doing. So not just, like coding and everything, but are you also participating in designing the application, how it's going to look like? Like, I would just like to know, like, what are the challenges that you're encountering and what would be your impact on your project?
Yeah.
Okay, but I meant more like this coding part. Okay, so the coding part in the sense of, let's say we will just keep it on the back end. So when like when you just get you have obviously the phases of software development life cycle of SDLC. So are you participating in all parts of, let's say, designing, like initially the architecture of the application?
In the past, yes, I was responsible for creating the architecture of the application. For example, when we were trying to create the microservices, I tried to use what was it called? Onion architecture, onion pattern, multiple layers for the application, and creating the default implementation of whatever we wanted. So other programs, other developers in the team just use that standard. I was creating a standard for naming conventions, and I don't know, service names, or how to put the services or the files in other projects or other folders.
So basically, you were creating like templates, right?
Yeah, templates and rules for naming or clean code.
Okay, that's good. Okay, you mentioned initially that one of the reasons why you want to change the company and your motivations to work with international companies is that you currently don't have the ability to work with cloud. Do you have any experience with cloud?
Unfortunately, no. I just read about it. I watched some video, but I didn't have any project with it.
Okay, I understand. Okay. Do you work? What kind of APIs are you work with? Is it like RESTful or GraphQL? What kind?
Mostly RESTful.
Okay, I get it. Okay, let's speak a little bit about the team of people that you're working with, okay? So how many people do you have currently in your team?
Currently, I think it was 6 or 7, maybe.
Okay. Was it a cross-functional team, like developers, QAs, or just developer?
Just developers.
Just developers, okay. So are you a senior in the team? I assume you are.
In my current team, I haven't working with them for a long time. It's been 2 weeks, but in my past team, yeah, I was a senior and I was the lead developer in the team. I was I was managing a team of 4 to 5 developers, both front end and back end.
Okay. Okay. So what are your day-to-day tasks?
I'm going to talk about my past role, because in my current role, I'm just writing some code and reviewing some changes. But in my past role, I was responsible for sometimes creating some tasks for my teammates, and sometimes just implementing some functionalities that are, because I was familiar mostly with the business logic, I was responsible for harder codes that I had to implement. And one of my other responsibility was to review the codes that my teammates pushed, and review the business of logic of that code, or the clean code principles of that code. Also, I was responsible for interviewing new candidates that were trying to join my team or the company, and sometimes mentoring new candidates that joined the team.
Okay, amazing. Okay, do you have experience in working with Agile, like Scrum?
Yeah, we were using Scrum methodology in the past team, and we had daily meetings, we had retrospective meetings.
Yeah, sprints.
Sprints, 2 weeks sprints.
How long did your sprints last?
2 weeks, mostly 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I have it all covered. Now, as I've said, like we can move forward with the process as soon as you get the residence. So basically, until then, we will stay in touch. However, I will explain you how the selection process looks like. So this is the first initial interview that you had with me. My next step will be for me to submit your profile to our hiring manager. So that is the person who decides who goes further and who does not. Before that, we will send you a code test. Okay, so you will have a test made of 3 tasks. You will have certain time to complete it, and after you complete it, depending on the percentage that your results show, we will then schedule you a technical interview. Technical interview will be 1 hour long. It will be with one of our colleagues who's also a software developer, and they will ask you questions into details. So they will really go into technical details. If you pass that, then our hiring manager gives you an offer. Now, what we offer in this case, since you will be in Turkey, hopefully, and resident and everything, so we offer employment agreement. That means that you would be getting the netto salary in USD dollars. So basically you would have netto salary in USD dollars, and on the day of the payment, it would convert to Turkish lira. So on that day, so you will have a standard paycheck in USD, and on that day it converts to Turkish lira. You would also have, like paid taxes, insurance, and everything else. You would have also possibility for the spot in the office if you like to go to the office, especially like in the beginning. And you would get a lunch card, private health insurance as well, so as a benefit, let's say, and that's about it when it comes to that. However, as I've said, we can only proceed when with everything else once you have the residence and everything. Now, tell me, when everything happens, like when we come to that step, what would be your notice period in your current company?
It's 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay. And what would be your financial expectations in USD dollars in a netto salary?
Well, currently I'm getting 3,500 per month. Something fair and something around that is fine with me.
Okay, so $3,500 would be your minimum, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Throughout the process, I will be your contact person, especially regarding this situation. You can always reach out to me via email and LinkedIn. If you have one, you can also find me there. I encourage you to let me know as soon as you get the residence, as soon as you're back to Turkey, and you have all the valid documents. Reach out to me so we can proceed with the selection process.
Great.
Do you have any questions for me?
Well, no, I mostly have questions about the tech, and I will ask them in the technical interview if we have one.
Okay. Of course, you can ask my colleagues once we come to that point. Muslim, if you happen to have any questions, you can always reach out to me. But I can say that it's really a pleasure meeting you and talking to you. And hopefully we will have a chance to collaborate in the future. So we'll be in touch. Please keep me updated. And also I will maybe reach out to you every 1 week or 2 just to see how it's going and just to stay in touch for everything.
Okay. Thank you very much. It was really nice talking to you.
Amazing. Thank you. Have a nice day and talk to
You
you.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.